Hello everybody, I hope we're all good, and a huge welcome back to the channel. Now, we're sort of going back to old stomping grounds as far as I'm concerned. Now, I did say that probably maybe somewhere later this week I'm probably going to get myself down to biker and then probably walker. But yeah, we're actually going to start today by, like I said, back to where because I used to work in Wallsend for 3 years during the pandemic. I was a key worker. That's what I was. Where's my parade and all that? But yeah, let's take a little walk around and see what's happening. I know Wallsend is always categorically quiet and stuff like that, but let's see what we get. All right, so let's off we go, and we're coming across the famous Station Road, and it's always good knowing that, like, literally the metro comes straight through the middle of Wallsend anyway, so it's good. The transportation is actually quite good, all things considered, for being in Wallsend. So honestly, you got metro, you got the bus depot on either side, main road just sort of cuts straight through. So yeah, it's if you want to get in and out of Wallsend pretty quick, you always it's always pretty easy to do. That's new. Right. Yeah, you know, it must be said, the last time I was actually ever in Wallsend was about 7 months ago, and to be honest, it feels exactly the same as before. And in fact, to be honest, it's been this way for the last 5 years, really. Ah well, at least the road's fully open and there's no roadworks going on. That's actually a change for this part of the city. It's like another new hairdresser's open up beside Craig Miller's, as you do. There used to be a huge mural right there, especially for the kids and stuff like that, and now it's been replaced with bovine independence. Nobody can have anything nice in here. That's always been the rhetoric for quite a lot of people when you come into Wallsend. Kids can't have anything nice. Adults can't have anything nice. It's a place where people live, breathe, eat, shit, sleep, and then finally die. I'm sure there's got to be a lot more to this place than just that, but well, to be honest, I think even living and then dying is thrown a little bit out the window, because it's just sort of decrepit in every sense. Let's go this way. Mind you, that being said, a good rug wouldn't go amiss. At least this part of the world. Right. Yeah, and to eagle-eye viewers who were here with us yesterday when we were going through Morpeth, yeah, it feels like a very certain turnaround. We take a walk through Carlisle Park, and now we're taking a walk through a slightly more urbanized jungle form of Wallsend, so the contrast could not be that stronger if you tried. Anyway, moving on. Oh yeah, I've seen one of those open up in Ponteland as well. It's like a new, like, whole new craze in it of Japanese style, like, spa treatments and whatnot. I don't know how, I mean, you can sort of recognize them by, like, the cream building and whatnot, and the fact they have Japanese head spa and whatnot. Don't know how good those are, but you know, someone's got to be in them. That's certainly new anyway. Welcome to the Revolution. Peri chicken sort of thing. Right. I mentioned, of course, about Wallsend, but literally we're sort of coming up to the end of Wallsend anyway, and we're coming almost straight into Walker Gate. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's try and break into Walker and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, what is the absolute worst that can happen, eh? Still got a fair bits to travel, but you know what? Walker isn't too far away. Actually, I'll tell you one thing we are coming up to, and it's sad that it's no longer here, and it's just what I was talking about before when I say, you know, you can't have anything nice surrounding Wallsend. There's used to be quite a popular boxing gym just about right here. Sadly, also no longer with us. So let me see if I can... Wallsend Boxing Academy. Now, apparently this has been shut up for about a year, and it's still not even been sold. No idea why not, and I heard it was actually quite popular around here in Wallsend, but apparently not popular enough. And of course, I managed to miss the trail of dog shits coming down the street. I love the fact that they even have to spray paint the roads and all that and put up signs telling people to bin their gum, but they say absolutely nothing whatsoever to cleaning up dog shits all over the road. What can you do? Bonnie? And again, we're just sort of, when we head outside, barbers, at least some of the old pubs around here, unlike the ones we saw in Gateshead, at least these ones, well, I don't know if they're thriving or nothing, but at least they're still here. I've heard Duke of York's quite a rough bar, but having over to morning. So yeah, absolutely. That's. I was going to say that was Wallsend, but now one of these days we'll be able to chat with more locals and whatnot, and we can actually get a better feel for Wallsend. Morning. Well, I was going to say chat with the locals, but I don't really feel like I'm not even that popular when I'm on my own. No, what hope do I have in Wallsend? Wait for that. Okay. Morning. Yeah, so yeah, we're now heading into Walker. Morning. You know, the more I think about it, because it's not even that far to like walk across Walker and then into Biker. We might even end up in Shields Road by the end. Oh, hello. Yeah, well, what do you expect around here? Just if somebody else does it, then that must mean, you know, go ahead and go nuts. Of course, what a lot of people may not know is that I know where my dad used to grow up in Walker. Not that we would go down to it or anything like that. So I'm pretty sure even by now we're heading down the wrong way. Let's just keep rolling. I mean, technically we're on Shields Road anyway. Oh well, let's just keep going. Morning. Yeah, like I said before, we always say hello when we pass by. You know what? It may not mean that much to them, but it means something, I guess. Yes. Morning. They keep advertising Gavin Webster down at the Opera Theatre and whatnot. Is he any good? Don't ask me. I don't know nothing about the guy. Anyway. Morning.
Plus bearing in mind.
Carries on over this. Yeah, we'll take the right and we'll sort of head through Walker. It's a very specific road I think we're going to head down, but let's keep looking. Morning. Yeah, we'll go back on Walker right ways and then you know, that's just occurred to us that I didn't realise that like how large and quite sprawling Walker for the most part is. But we can always because of course you've got the metro station just up to the right. But we can always just it's a doddle getting back to Wallsend this way. I think this is sort of like the better part of Walker anyway, where it's like open space and whatnot, and you can actually see a little bit more of the sky. Quite a nice day, actually. You know, to be honest, again, I know we're like about a week into October, but it's not even been getting slightly cold even in the last couple of weeks. I don't know if that's just because, well, global warming, or whether that's just how things are going to be. It's going to get cold sooner or later, but it doesn't really begin until at least like, I don't know, second half of December, I want to say, is when it's actually going to get cold. It doesn't even get that cold in November anymore. Very strange indeed. Morning. Right, so Right, don't worry guys, we're... You know that recreation centre we just passed? I don't know if it was exactly that one or if there was one in Biker, but I remember spending about a week living in a recreation centre as part of the NCS during the summer of 2015. I'm pretty sure the NCS isn't even a thing anymore. That's another thing we could add to the list, by the way, of things they just take away from the next generation. They can't have murals on the side of buildings with colourful characters. You can't have a boxing gym. You can't have the NCS. And they told me how to do like first aid and whatnot. Like, where's the satisfaction of, you know, you could save someone's life through knowing how to do first aid. And they don't even give you that no more. This morning. Anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, it's a bit of a... It's rubbish that, isn't it, when you think about it? Anyway, let's head back to Wallsend, shall we? I don't think anybody's ever said that before. Mind you, even the sign for North Tyneside looks fucked, really, doesn't it? There's no other way to put it. Can't think of any better way to put it. You see that right there? Neptune Energy Park. It's where my granddad used to work just about several years after the Second World War ended. Yeah, nice place. Yeah, well, a little bit of family history right there. I'm pretty sure, like, my, I say my granddad. It was my granddad on my father's side. Me granddad on my mum's side worked at, I think it was called, like, the mushroom plant. It was somewhere along the quayside. Because I'm pretty sure after he left the army or whatever it was, he became an engineer. Or I think he was an engineer in civilian life and then sort of returned. Anyway, yeah, this will take us back to Wallsend this way. Morning. I'm sure if you come off right at this junction, it actually makes us down to the Neptune plant. Yeah. Sorry guys for the little interruption there. There was just like there was a load of people on the wall and stuff like that, and I didn't really want to like invade their privacy and whatnot. So we're almost at the end anyway. We're nearly back at Wallsend. Hadrian's Wall and Wallsend Colliery B Pit. Apparently you need a ticket to... Do you need a ticket to get in here? I don't think so, but well, for what they're worth, Colliery B Pit, right there. I mean, I don't exactly know what they're expected to find. Certainly not coal, that's for sure. bothering calling these gardens, by the way, because there's no green on them. There's just weeds. Honestly, AstroTurf this bit of the part of main gardens, and you can be almost onto a winner here. Mind you, you could also be onto a bit of a winner here if you bother to actually have a clock that works properly, because you see that clock there in the corner where it says 3:05 in the afternoon? Because it's 11:45 local time. Oh, are you kidding me? The mural on the side of that power box there has also been rubbed away. Be kind, smile, often. Yeah, I can't even make it out anymore. Yeah, there used to be a really nice little mural there. I used to pass that by every day back in when I used to work down here. Oh, that's dreadful. That is, honestly. Get a new one on there, and you'll be right as rain. You gotta have something to hope on for here, because right now the whole of Wallsend just again. Ever since I've left here, it seems like all hope has died. And well, back to where we are. Right, so also while we're here, I may as well just spread a little, like literally, I could see like under the viaduct for the metro, and I think there was like some sort of small party with about like 3 adults and about like 10 kids, all dressed in yellow. I don't know if that's like a health or safety thing or whatnot, but literally, when I was crossing the street, crossing the road on the corner, and it was on green, but this white Dacia still like cut across, and it's a good thing I saw it, because he absolutely would have knocked me over, because literally the kids weren't even across the street yet, and the Sandero was coming like quite close, and before you knew it, yeah, honestly, he was not in the mood to slow down. That's what I'll say much. Yeah, that's honestly. Is this just what it's like to Wallsend? Because everything I've come across today, everything seems to have some level of contempt for the kids. Honestly, you can't have a mural around here no more. You can't have a boxing gym. You can't have a nice little message. Even the rain like drags you down. Everything about the Wallsend drags us down. And that gym over there used to be a carpet shop. That is the one thing I feel like people can still go to as a means of for recreation, as long as the price is right. Very, very rarely is. I mean, 10 years ago when I was starting to get like monthly memberships down my local gym, 24 quid a month just to go down the gym. Nowadays, 40 quid. So the price goes up 16 quid in 10 years. And well, then again, it's an entirely new building, because they had to like knock the old gym down, and well, the old leisure centre, I want to say, and you know the score. So yeah, taking all of this into account and taking everything that we've experienced here today in Wallsend as a whole, it's surprising that I stayed the course for 3 years as I did, and I just wanted to, I don't know, get kicked back and work. Because Lord Almighty, like even where I was working in, didn't give me like much cause for celebration either. But still, you know what? Still, sometimes life is a little bit like that. Sometimes we don't lead the best lives in one of the most prosperous and fair countries on earth. And yeah, believe it or not, this country is still incredibly fair. I know a lot of people choose to say that's a complete lie, but at the same time, under the circumstances, well, what would you prefer? Living in a country where women don't have any rights whatsoever? They don't even have the rights for if even the sun to come down on them? Would you rather live in somewhere like that? Yeah, actually, and all of a sudden when you begin to put it like that, and well, or how about in countries where if you break the law, not only does your child, who hasn't been born yet, is destined for a life sentence, but even their children, who may never see the light of day, they're also thrown into prison for life, just because of one small for breaking the law, whatever you want to be. Yeah, you know, or living under. Do you really want to live in a place like that? And yes, all of a sudden when you put it like that, actually, when you think about it, it kind of almost makes sense why so many people would want to come to this country, because God, Lord Almighty, it's got to be better than elsewhere. Yeah, if I can see the logic, then I'm pretty sure other people can too. But what can you do? So anyway, yeah, Wallsend. We know where it ends, but does anybody know where it begins? I wish we know where it begins, because otherwise we could just literally get the hell out of here. But with that being said, I'll see all of you guys again next time. Thank you.